Hey everybody, I just wanted to come and talk today about everybody wants to know their higher purpose at some point in their life, but no one wants to talk about their soul, right? So you know you have a soul, you know you have a higher purpose. We're humans. You've always known that it's something bigger than just us being here. Every time that you see an act of strength, of greatness, a huge compassion, of people coming together and help, and it makes you cry because how beautiful it is. You understand that we have a soul, and that when we're in that highest level of expressing that soul, that's what we're here to do. But the thing is, when I read all these things about how to find yourself, how to find your higher calling and purpose, it's always a very physical, ego, conscious, mind centered thing, but no intuition seems to be involved. So I see, hey, why don't you write out what you like? Why don't you write what you like to do? And at the end of the day, I would not have found my higher purpose if I just relied on that, because what I like to do has nothing to do with my gifts and this and that. Like, I like to read books, right? But the fact of the matter is, my divine gifts are divine truth and divine power, which means that I am here to speak my truth, and I'm here to empower people with what I find out or what I figure out how to do. And that's my gift. And so if I would have just followed this thing and this written thing only about what my gifts are, I never would have even gotten to alignment with what I need to do to honor my gifts so that I have an abundant life. But I wouldn't get to the next level of what I was given these gifts for, which is to impact people with their truth. So at the end of the day, I could have, I've been told, yeah, you're really articulate. So even if I wrote down things people have told me, being articulate does not tell me that my divine truth is to tell people my truth, right? Like, it doesn't get that specific. And so what I want to talk about is that I read all these things about writing it down, but if you want to find out your soul's purpose, you need to talk to your soul. I literally do that. And now I do it every day. Everyone can channel their soul. A lot of people have used meditation, right? So a lot of people have used prayer. So all the priests who prayed and God, the inner voice, the angel spoke to them. That was all true. The people who do meditation, the monks, and they had a voice speak to them, the universal consciousness, that's all true, right? And, when Muslims pray and they hear the voice of Muhammad, they do hear the voice of Muhammad, right? So we all can talk to these spiritual beings. And I think sometimes we stray away from it because I thought if I meditate, I had to be hours and hours sitting there meditating, which I'm not into that. I'm not sitting there for hours. I did an hour meditation once and I tried to do it again. 20 minutes in, I was like, okay, I'm done. This doesn't serve me. So you can do it in many different ways. I personally channel my higher self every day. I do it to stay connected to who I am, to feel it, to get inner guidance. And it's always spot on. It always helps me manifest. And the more I do it, the more I can create the world that I need to create to do what I'm here to do. And it's all interconnected. It's not just one or the other. They're all interconnected. And so I just want to talk about the fact that people want to find out their soul's purpose, but do everything except talk to their soul. So you can do that through your meditation if that so inclines you. I know people who really love meditation. They don't mind the time it takes to invest in meditation. That's not everyone's way. I like channeled writing, which I'm going to explain in another video. Just my method I use because I'm a very physical, action-oriented person, and it's like a doing thing. So I'm always going to be attracted to something you do to get to the same results. Right? But I've even had a channeler, a spiritual teacher. There's a ton of spiritual teachers available, and they're all really good at like their thing, right? Who channeled and took me through a guidance to find out what that higher purpose was, right? So that was confirmation of what it really was. But all of those things, and then once I found out, I was like, oh, that's why I was given these speaking abilities. That's why I'm able to figure out what other people can't and create systems other people can't, and then teach it really well in a way. People leave me going, for my older business, real estate investing is easy. Well, it is the way I teach it, but that's my gift. I'm supposed to empower you by teaching it. And if I wasn't empowering you by teaching it, the world will close upon me. Like, the world constricts for you, and you close off your energy flow of abundance to the world when you close off your gifts or don't honor them. So I just wanted to get something straight. You can't learn about your spirit's purpose without talking to your spirit. You can do that with any journey. There are ways. There's infinite ways you can do it. There's some main ways that are known. The meditation. I do channeled writing, but you can also work with a guided healer who can communicate with the spiritual world or the angels to help translate and help you speak to your soul or hear what your soul says, and so then they can relay the message to the channeler. So you can do it that way. But you got to speak to your soul. So if you want to know what your spiritual mission is, you better learn to speak to your spirit any way that suits you. I'm going to show you my way because it works for me. I tend to attract people who are like me, people who are more action oriented, who get things done, which is great. And if you're not, that's okay. I want you to also pay attention to those when I use other examples of meditation, maybe that strikes your fancy more than other things. So I hope this is really clear about where that missing piece was. I always wondered what my mission was, but I never did the spiritual aspect of it. And this is your spirit's purpose. So learn to talk to it. And everyone all around the world has learned. I'm so thankful the fact that I came into this later because so many people have laid the groundwork for us to step into it with so much more clarity. And the internet makes it so I've reached out to people from all over the world to learn these things, and it's easier than it was before. So use this, and it's easier than it was before for us because we need it, because we're getting to a point where some things that are lost in this world are going to be lost forever. This earth is beautiful, but when we all get to the collective consciousness of being here to help and support each other, that's when we help and support the earth, right? So at the end of the day, all of this is being ushered in so that we can do what we're here to do, and you do have a soul's mission. So I hope that helps, just so to throw away some of the discussion of can you find your purpose and meaning without doing any spiritual work? No. You can do it through religion, you can do it through meditation, you can do it through channeled writing, you can do it with a healer, but you can't, and this is common sense, but everyone wants to do everything else except this. And I'm saying stop it. If you're having a discussion on your higher self, you need to talk to your higher self, okay? And some people prayed and prayed and prayed and asked until it was granted to them. And you can do that too. But you need to do that. Like, it's not going to come any other way. Now, I used a spiritual channeler who can channel the angels. And so through that discussion, when I talked to my soul and I heard speak, they heard motivational speaker to impact the masses, right? So as your ability to talk and communicate to your higher self develops, it's going to start off rougher than what it ends up at, right? And so I heard speak, but she also at the same time heard speak and motivate people with their truths, right? So I will say, if you're going to do it on your own, it will probably take more time than if you have someone who's really attuned to doing it. I can link you up with my channeler who did it for me. She's amazing, and she knows other people who can do it for you. I can list them if you want, but it's just going to be a little rougher until you really get into it and practice it. So I heard the right thing, right? But just not the level of detail. So that's why I liked having her do it. And I'll put her information down if you are so inclined to do it the quick way. And that was just 20 minutes of reading. So it was worth it. But you got to talk to your spirit. You can't talk about your spiritual purpose, your spiritual path, your higher path, your soul's path without doing it. Right? You just can't. So you can write all you want. But that'll get you in alignment possibly with your gifts, if you're not straying too far away. But there's a faster, easier way to do it. So thank you so much, and I hope that helps.